Well, welcome back to the channel, Old Cars, New Van. Well, good morning. We are at the NEC, the National Exhibition Centre, on Friday the 20th of March 2026.
And what we come to see?
The Practical Classics Classic Car and Restoration Show, and that's the only time today that I'm going to be saying it fully like that.
It is a mouthful, isn't it?
So yeah, this is Friday the 20th. This show is on for 3 days. So you're seeing this on Saturday. You could change all your plans and come here tomorrow and still see everything we've seen. And here we go. The sea of people will start. So as I say, we're filming this on Friday. This is going live on Saturday. So if it looks thrown together, guess what? It is.
Tickets ready, lads. Russell, please.
Right at the entrance of TR6 and the Ford Escort. Right, so we're in, and in no particular order, we're starting in Hall 5. This actually is what's called the Sporting Bears charity cars, where they're privately owned and you can pay to go out for a road trip in these cars. So obviously these are behind a barrier, so I can't get any closer than this, but it's something fun if you want to do it. And we've got some very early pre-production BMW Minis here, the Y-Reg ones. So yeah, these are very sought after, being very early. So in complete contrast, the 100E Club is here, doing some work. We may not feature every car today because obviously the NEC is notorious for being very large, very big and very busy, but we will try our very best. So classic minis. And the great thing about the restoration show is that people are working on their cars, so they're not all perfect and they're not all showroom, which is great. Love the Clubmans. Always like the Clubmans with the squarer front end. That's lovely. Lovely classic Range Rover. And yeah, the autobiography. Love that colour blue. Really nice. So this is an interesting stand. Just for those who aren't familiar, all the setup of the NEC is where individual clubs bring their collection. So this is Daimler, Lancaster and BSA. So yeah, 1934 BSA. Obviously work in progress, but that's the nature of the show. The front end of the Daimler Dart, rather nice grey example, and a bit more modern, this 1984 Daimler Sovereign, obviously based on the XJ Jaguar. Very pretty XJS. So this is an unusual one, Rover P6. It actually started life almond colour like ours, but converted to two-door and obviously convertible. What an extraordinary thing. Yeah, I mean the interior is fairly standard apart from the headrests, but yeah, I'd imagine the scuttle shake might be quite interesting. But you know what? I quite like it. It's unusual, isn't it? Rather Bobby Dazzler. Rover 10 from 1935. Lovely. And very unusual here as well, another conversion, P490 converted to a pickup. It looks like it's still in regular use from the sign writing. As I said earlier, folks, I'm not going to feature absolutely every car because we'll be here all day otherwise, but it is lovely in this show that you can see people actually working on their cars, doing major restoration work. So there's a Fiat here. We'll try and get a better look at it. So obviously this has been painted before the show, but the idea is that in 3 days this car is going to drive out of here. Currently no engine in, no interior, no roof. Brilliant. So just the back end of a Citroen Diane 6. lovely 2000 Triumph. It's getting busy, folks. Going to be difficult to film, but we'll try our best. Lovely Traveller with the wood. It's the Lada 1200. Some beautiful exhibits on the Jaguar stand. My word. So yeah, just interjecting between photos and video, as I said, because it can get very busy and very noisy. So sometimes it's okay to video, sometimes it's not. I'm loving this Avenger Tiger. That's fantastic. The Austin A30, A35 Club in various states of condition, from almost barn fine to absolutely beautiful, and everything in between. Some work in progress on the Minor Million, and a lovely little mini metro next to it, and a first generation Mondeo having some restoration work as well. So midgets and spridgets of various shapes and sizes. I say it's a vast show, so it's going to be an overview. The Allard Owners Stand. Not a mark I'm particularly familiar with, but great to see representation here. Jensen Interceptor convertible on the Jensen stand. Jensen Healey Mark 1. And of course, no car show would be complete without an MG representation. Both classic and more modern. Love this paint. And some unusual Volkswagen Trekker and things, as they are called. Shout out to Mr. Andy Talbot, who likes these. I think he's here somewhere, so we might say hello later. A lovely stand from the Wolseley and Hornet Special Club. And again, obviously work very much in progress there. 1934 Wolseley Special, should I say. And some swallows making an appearance. Must be the first sign of spring. More Wolseleys in progress. It's a 1500 Mark 1. Wolseley Land Grab. Again, completely stripped out interior, but the engine looks like it's there. This is the Elvis stand. Very nice. And the Triumph Stags, Maya's favourite. Don't know where she's got to. I'm sure she'll be here looking at these beauties very soon. So there really is a vast amount to see. I mean, it's not as big as the NEC Classic Car Show in November, but even so, huge amounts to see. So hopefully this is a good overview for you. But as I say, I'm not going around every car in detail. So we're at the Riley stand, and yeah, fight our way through the crowds. I must go over here actually, because there is a little Riley elf, and my mate Jim had one of these when he was 17. In fact, there's two. Another one. Neither of which are the colour of his. His was burgundy with a white roof, but even so, nice to see. Little Rover 800 fastback. I had one of those. Not as nice or sporty as that one, but I had one. So as we walk down another line, passing a Very nice Daimler. And the Humber sector. We move to the Triumph Dolomite Club. Loving it in black. That's one of the last ones with the special edition stripes. Lovely. And this example is obviously having its interior refitted. It's a great thing about this show. You actually see work in progress. Very pretty Mark III Spitfire. And again, things being fixed. All very impressive. Obviously the Crown Victoria has got a showing here. I'm loving the taxi, the New York taxi. I think if I was to have one, that would be the one I'd have rather than the police car. I'm not really going to have one. The Sierra RS 500 Owners Club with a beautiful, beautiful example here in black. And then another one in black that is very much sort of work in progress, obviously showing the work that has to go in to get these things back to how they were. And I'm loving, absolutely loving the little Escort van here. That is so cool. The deep dish wheels and the very hot engine. Yeah, that's great. So again, the variety is enormous. I mean, we're now into JDM territory with the Mitsubishi GTOs. Such an eclectic mix at this show. It's absolutely great. I really like these. I think they're very underrated, and actually the values are not as high as they possibly should be. Look at this. Wow. Very nice 2.3 GL Granada. Looking very purposeful and lowered. Yeah, it's great that. In fact, there's some lovely ones. Look at this 3-litre coupe next to it. Love that colour. That is just fantastic. I'd like a green car. I think green's really cool. And this must be South African or a conversion because it's 5-litre. I'm pretty sure we didn't get them. Talking of South African, XR8. Again, not something we got in this country, but very interesting. We did get the Sierra XR 4x4 though, and it looks very purposeful in black. And the Ford Classic and Concept Capri Club. I do like the styling. Now we saw the Riley Elves before, again badge engineering. This is the Wolseley Hornets, including the convertible 1966 Heinz Special. Heinz converted some of these and gave them away, 57 of them, as in 57 varieties. Yeah, some more major restoration work going on here. This is a Saab 93. The doors opening the wrong way, another example. A little peek at the rather unique engine. Saab Sonnet. Very unusual vehicle looking. So yeah, as we take in the Saabs, obviously the more modern turbos, convertibles. Yeah, had a Saab, liked it. Good car. Some Ford Probes. These are coming back into their own in the classic scene. This obviously is the Ford Owners Club. A couple of Probes. Focus, XR2, race prepared, but you know what I'm going to be focusing on? It's this little beauty. Look at this. Oh wow. That is lovely. Still got the plastics on the seats. Yeah, that really is quite special. A strong Ford turnout, as there always is. XR4, CXR3i in progress. And then we drop straight to MR2s. As I say, it's quite an eclectic mix. So this is the pride of ownership display, where owners try and woo you for their votes as to which is the best in class. All very different types of cars, obviously all lovely in their own way. I'm rather loving the huge Transit with the knobbly wheels. Yeah, that is quite impressive. A lovely Ford Escort as well. So yeah, lovely Escort. I'm rather loving the Manta, I must confess. Obviously the DeLorean with a Range Rover in the background, but what has really caught my eye is this fabulous Mazda 1300 Estate. How beautiful is that? You know what I like at Estate on this channel? That's fantastic. That would probably get my vote. Mind you, the Capri's pretty good as well. Been in the same family since new this, apparently. Yeah, 240Z, lovely as well. Getting busy, folks. Sorry. Slightly hard to film, but it's Viva as well. Wow. So this clubman has got a coffin in it. I think it's his business. My last mini adventure. Well, yeah, I guess. A lovely Senator. And obviously the big roller, and then in the middle a couple we missed. It's an XR3i Cabriolet and a bonkers Orion that's been modified, which is Peaky Blinder special by the looks of it. Yeah, I mean it's cool because it's pride of ownership and it's obviously what they're into, and I must admit the interior is extraordinary, I think is the best way to describe it. So we move on from pride of ownership to Scirocco's. Again, one of Maya's favourites. Love that colour. GT2, beautiful. Yes, I think that's a standout one for me. We found a lovely Hillman Imp here. Again on the club stand with the commercial comma version. It's probably rarer than the car now. Dinky little 850 Fiat with a Panda behind it, and there's Maya in the background being caught by the yellow bread van. So talking of commercials with the comma, we've also got Bedford next to us, a rather modified example there, but some that are a little bit more regular in their appearance. Love the blue one. That's fantastic. The Victor and Ventor Club. Very rare. Could be the oldest contender in the show so far, 1926. Apparently it's a Greg's La France. I must confess I've never heard of it. Calibras of many shapes and variations. And also some classic Volkswagens here. So, classic Mercedes next. Really liking this 190 in this green. That's absolutely smashing, that. And obviously, the real beauty at the end. Cool, that pops with the blue carpet, doesn't it? Yeah, that's quite a spectacle. Absolutely beautiful 1962 190. It's absolutely stunning, that. And 3 millions in a row in various states of repair. The Elite and Eclat Owners Club. Everything on a display of 4. One in the back is work in progress. Next we have Alfa Romeo Owners Club, and I'm particularly drawn to this Alfa Sud. Particularly in that colour. very rare survivor of the Giulietta. That's beautiful. I love the colour scheme on that as well. We've also got Lancia or Lancia, depending on how you'd like to pronounce it, where you are in the world. I'm loving these Mark III Cortinas as well. Unusual with a sunshine roof there in this blue example. Yeah, it was a classic colour for them in the day, that sort of bronzy brown. And a stunning X19. Particularly like the green one. I say I'm drawn to green cars at the moment. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I am. That's lovely. Again, a large turnout by GB2CV. All shapes and sizes. A very early 2CV here with a crinkle bonnet. Stripped down AMI. That's what it looks stripped down. That's what it looks like when it's fully completed. Capri 280. Two of them represented here. And I'm loving the Simca, particularly the colour. Again, always like the rarities. Quite a rarity badged as a Talbot. This what effectively is a Simca pickup truck. So we've come across the Fiat stand. It's absolutely delightful. 1936 Fiat Topolino. Just so cute.
That's it.
Rip the mirror off. 1050, yeah.
So we have various French delights, obviously making my beeline to the turbo. Wow. That's pretty special. And the Aventine, two of them. In burgundy and blue. Very unusual car. I really like them. Not sure I'd own one, but I like the pillarless design, and I think the interior is, yeah, interesting. We've got some classic Volvo goodness here, particularly loving the bronze, and indeed 70s beige. So obviously the estate, or the P1800, the sort of shooting brake, and then the more sort of rakish coupe. I like them both. Obviously the very traditional boxy saloons that they're so famous for. Previous example being a 164, this 131 sort of Amazon, and indeed the estate version. You do know I like an estate. Yeah, very nicely turned out stand by the Volvo guys. And the DS with its rear wing removed, if you can just spot that, it's really easy. That's one bolt, and you can use the wheel brace to do it. But yeah, obviously work in progress. So again, some MG, another MG club, different one. This time the owners club. Obviously with a very special car on display here. The MG SV X-Power. MG's sort of moment of madness under the last glass of Rover, and no less than 3 Talbot Sunbeam Lotuses. My favourite is always the blue ones, just in the background there, but I wouldn't say no to any of them. Absolutely beautiful Audi coupe. An 87 on the D, very nice. First generation Audi 100. It's a rare survivor, that. Say today is the day for green cars. It's rather smashing Vauxhall Sports hatch. We have a British Leyland Princess, the Wedge. My dad had one of these in beige. And the far rarer version being worked on here is the Wolseley version, which is the last car to ever hold the badge of Wolseley. Interesting to see one completely stripped out as well. Obviously just been repainted. Back to the firewall. Yeah, cool. So here we have a complete strip down. obviously based on the body of the Allegro, but not called an Allegro. It's quite a famous YouTuber here, Alex's Assets, who she's taking her engine out of Peggy, I believe. And there's nothing wrong with it, she's just doing it for the academic exercise, and often how they appear out of the barns. Again, street furniture of the day, but all disappeared now. Especially for Sven, shout out for the housewife's Porsche, and an S very much being worked upon skillfully. And obviously the classic guards red, a classic Porsche look. Lovely. And the Messerschmitt Owners Club, not something I know very much about, but they're really cool. And the Daily Mirror World Cup Rally Series. Obviously cars from back in the day that competed, including this rather sad looking Allegro. Yeah, it needed some love, this one. Wow. Yikes. Okay, so we've reached the ADO16 stand. Obviously the one there in progress. I particularly love the colour of this estate. That is gorgeous. I don't know what the colour is, but it's lovely. An Austin example, 1300. Lovely. We have some Maxis in this delicious harvest gold. And then all of the orange, the name of which I know but escapes me totally. I think the mileage already is beginning to get to me. Yeah, because you do end up walking a long way in this show. Obviously the rally car. I think that's a genuine one. Little Sunbeam Alpines, variously. Great looking cars. And again, a brave project for the 4 days here at the NEC. This Marina Coupe came in as a non-runner. The idea is that it's going to be driven home. I wish them the very best. Hope it works. So we have the Ital up in the air. Next door to the lovely Marina pickup. Oh, and I missed an ADO16 here. Another Austin. Owners Club, little kitten, a Rialto that is being worked on, and a Fox hubnut. Ian Seabrook famously had a Fox. He doesn't have it anymore, but yeah, quite an unusual utility vehicle from back in the day. Absolutely loving this Datsun Cherry. It looks so bonny in the yellow. One huge limousine. Yeah, this Bentley is very, very impressive. So the Reliant Scimitars. If you go back on this channel, you'll see I did a video all about these, so that might be worth checking out in the back catalogue. The Bond Bugs, always a welcome sight in all of the orange. I was talked away in. Maserati, and I'm loving this JDM spec Z car. That is amazing. Loving the colour. Again, the Porsche 911 Carrera Targa with the Martini racing stripes. Yeah, stunning that. Fraser Nash. And good to see some old cars out as well. And this quite extraordinary Bentley. I'm not too sure what I'm looking at here, but apparently it's £190,000 worth. Yeah, you certainly wouldn't miss it in the car park, would you? A little mini moke. next to a Maestro van. Next to a Golf GTI. It's all here, you know. Now, believe it or not, this is only haul 5 we've done. I'm really hoping this is the biggest haul because there's 2 more and we're running out of time. So without further ado, we're going to move to either haul 3 or haul 4. Well, it's been a whistle-stop tour. I hope this has been an enjoyable video. Please like and subscribe. And we'll see you again very soon. And remember, you're seeing this on Saturday. Change your plans. Come here Sunday, tomorrow. Tickets are available. Cheers now.